Hi, I'm Beth Pruitt. I am the office administrator at the Westminster campus. I've been part of the Crossroads family for about 6 years, and I also lead a small group with my husband Dave and our good friends Mary and Aaron Walton. And this is just a really cool opportunity where I could just share a quick reflection and go a little bit deeper on Reed's message from this past Sunday. As you probably know, we're still in the sermon series entitled It's Not Me, It's You, which is just a fun kind of a funny play on words where we're talking about through the series about others, not being so inward focused, but focusing on the good of others. This week's message was about forgiving others. And gosh, that can be a really hard thing to do. And Reed touched on a few things that just really stuck home with me, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you. Reed read from Ephesians 4, much of Ephesians 4, but real quick, I'm going to read Ephesians 4, verse 31. And it says, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice." Now, is that saying don't be angry? It really isn't, because God gave us that emotion. Anger is a God-given emotion. He is not expecting us to never get angry. God gets angry sometimes. But what he is saying is how do we handle that anger? We can handle that anger in a very constructive way, a very righteous way, a way God would want us to handle it, or we could handle it in a very unrighteous way. So Reed used the analogy, he had a blue bucket, and he said, sometimes we get this anger, and that would be the blue bucket. And what's our first thing we want to do? Say we're angry at someone, we want to give that anger back to them, where it came from. But he had the analogy, the little blue bucket now turned into a huge bucket, because you're giving it, you want to give it back to them in a much bigger way, which is almost like revenge. And revenge really gets us nowhere. By forgiving people, you're not saying, and I think this is so important, when you forgive someone, you're not saying it's okay. You're not condoning what they did. You're not saying, yeah, you could do it again even. It's not that at all. But you're taking that anger and you're giving it up to God. You're letting that anger be between God and that person. You aren't trying to take control of it. You let God take control of it. So if you go on to Ephesians 4, verse 32, he says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another. Forgive each other, just as in Christ God forgave you." And if you just remember that every day we all sin. We were born sinners. But every day God forgives us. If we go to him and ask for forgiveness, he will forgive us. We just have to ask for that forgiveness. And just as God forgives us, he wants us forgiving others. So again, remember, it's not saying that it's okay, but it's a freedom thing, and it's something that you want to give up to God. And I just thought that was great. So anyway, thanks for listening, and have a great week.